Livia. Symbiosis is a relationship between two species. That's a very close relationship when one species sort of lives in or on or in close proximity to another. And there's three categories of this that we're going to talk about. I know you're familiar with one of them. So the first one we'll talk about is parasitism. Parasites. What do you know about a parasite? Olivia? Can cause illness or disease. Yep. Yeah.
They live off of another animal.
They live off of another animal. Parasitism is a relationship when one of the organisms benefits, it's getting something good out of the relationship, but the other is harmed in the process. So that's a parasitism relationship. We've talked about this a little bit. Who could tell me what is an example of a parasite? Yeah? Not quite a maggot, because a maggot doesn't live sort of in or on something. It breaks down dead tissue. Tommy?
A leech.
A leech, yeah. Anna?
A botfly larva.
Okay. Yeah, certain types of fly larvae, like a botfly. What?
A slug.
Not a slug. A slug is more of a consumer. Nate? A tick?
Lice.
Lice? Tapeworms? Heartworm in dogs? Those things we talked about. A tapeworm, for example, we talked about with invertebrates. Where do they live? Where do tapeworms live?
In their stomach.
Most live in the digestive tract. So if you accidentally consume a tapeworm, it would latch on inside of your intestine somewhere, and it would live there. And as you ate your food and your food is digested, the tapeworm would absorb some of the nutrients. That's what it lives off of. It's getting something out of this relationship. However, as it grows, it starts to clog your intestines. Food doesn't travel through as well. It can reproduce and multiply, making you sick, making you malnourished. Okay? So that's obviously harming you as its host. So that's a relationship with a parasite and a host. Another example would be malaria, the malaria protist that causes malaria. That's a parasite. We'll talk about some other examples in a minute. Now the next type is something called mutualism. In this relationship, both species actually can benefit. They both get something good out of this relationship. One example is the Nile crocodile and this bird that lives very close to it. The Nile crocodile is a ferocious predator, carnivore, eats almost anything that it can catch. However, there is a species of bird that flies into the crocodile's mouth, pecks away at its teeth, and the crocodile never eats it. This is a form of mutualism. What is the bird getting out of this relationship? Tommy?
The leftover food in your mouth.
Yeah, it's what it's doing is getting little bits of food from around the crocodile's teeth. What does the crocodile get? Good dental hygiene. It doesn't need to floss because this little bird is pecking away, cleaning its teeth, preventing infections and inflammation. So they both benefit out of the relationship. That is mutualism. A clownfish and a sea anemone. You guys have all seen Nemo? Oh, here's the crocodile and the bird.
You watch a video of that?
We're going to watch a different video. What's the relationship between the clownfish and the anemone? Livia?
Doesn't the clownfish keep it clean, but and then it lives there too?
Yeah. How does the anemone help it out?
Because it's like, there's like these things that eat off of it, and they can swim into it for traction.
Yeah, but Do predators chase the clownfish into the anemone's tentacles?
Really, because it's really much.
Right, well, they're not electrical, they have stinging cells, okay, they're cnidarians like the hydra, but the clownfish is immune to those. It's resistant to those stinging cells. So it can hide in there, but most predators are not going to go into the anemone to get and eat the clownfish. Okay, so they both are benefiting. The last one is called commensalism. In commensalism, one organism benefits, but the other one isn't really affected. It's not harmed, but it's also not helped. It just sort of keeps on doing its thing. For example, on a whale, if you look at a whale, if a whale comes out of the water, often you'll see barnacles, these crustaceans stuck to it. Now they benefit. They sort of hitch a ride, they can filter food out of the water as the whale's swimming around, but it doesn't affect the whale, it doesn't hurt it in any way, it doesn't help it either, it's just sort of not affected at all. That would be an example of this relationship. A robin living in a tree. Robin needs the tree, builds its nest there. Okay, it perches there. It doesn't affect the tree, it doesn't hurt the tree, but it doesn't help it. It doesn't really matter to the tree. So those are commensalism. So these are some pictures. This is a trout, I believe, and these things hanging off, those are lamprey. Lamprey is a parasitic fish. They are a jawless fish. Is there a picture here? Oh no. So there's I should find a picture because their mouth is really scary. They have this very round suction cup sort of mouth, and then these ridges of teeth, and their tongue is all studded with teeth as well. What they do is they latch on to a large fish, and they basically drill a hole into the side of it, and they live off of the blood of that fish.
It's kind of like a leech.
Like a leech, similar to a leech, but they live much bigger and they're much larger. And but they're a fish. And so often, if you go fishing, you catch large lake trout in lakes that have lamprey in them, which you'll see is many of them. This one obviously still has the lamprey attached. Sometimes you'll see that they have open wounds where there used to be a lamprey there. I told you about when I went to that fishing boat in college and we were collecting fish and stuff. Well, we caught some lamprey in that as well. So my professor picked it up, and it looks like an eel kind of, but they have that mouth that's different. And he stuck it on, he had this like rubber apron on, he put it on, and it just sort of suction up, trying to bore a hole through the apron. So they're pretty nasty fish.
Could it attach to it?
You would feel it and immediately freak out. I mean, if you didn't do anything,
So is it kind of like an issue if you just rip it off?
yeah, it doesn't like,
Would
it's
it
not
hurt?
strongly attached. Probably if it started biting you, yeah.
There's a show called River Monsters, and he catches all these
Oh,
things,
yeah.
and he tried to catch these.
Uh-huh.
He just had to catch any fish, and they were attached to him.
Oh, really?
Because of where they were.
Yeah. Here's the whale. Those little white things you see on the tip of their flipper, those are the barnacles. Like I said, doesn't hurt the whale, doesn't help it. Clownfish, sea anemone. This is a termite. What do termites eat?
What?
Yeah, but on their own, termites cannot digest wood. Okay, nothing really can. But they have a little bacteria that lives in their digestive system. The termite chews up the wood and swallows it. But then these bacteria living in there, they actually digest the wood. So this is, again, what type of relationship do you think that is?
Mutualism.
Mutualism, they both benefit. The termite gets this digested wood, which other things can't eat. The bacteria gets food as the termite chews up the wood, so they're both benefiting. Yeah?
Two mutual relationships would be like in Africa, the honey badger and the honey guide bird. And the honey guide sings to the honey badger and shows it to a bee nest.
Okay.
And also they marry
What does
coyotes.
what does the honey, what is it? Honey,
Honey guide.
what does he get out of
Honey.
it? Or she get?
They can't break into the bee nest without like.
Oh, so honey badger gets into the bee's nest?
Yeah, and the
They
like
both
humans
get it?
there too.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that story. All right, we're going to watch a video about this little